Hello Stampers, it's Amy with Stampin' Magic. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today I have for you a fancy fold card. It is a very simple version of this card. As you can see, it goes like that, and then you pop it up into place and it rests like that on your desk. And then underneath it's got space for you to write a message. So I thought it's a really sweet card. The design for this was actually inspired by a note card I saw on Pinterest, and I will comment below whose design that was, and I'll also put that on my blog, a link to that on my blog. So I've kind of used the basic layout for it for the front, and then I've just added a nice little sentiment here. This is using the 2017 to 2019 in colours. And this is Lemon Lime Twist. Today I'm going to be using Powder Pink. So let's get started. For this card you'll need the Crafting Forever stamp set and the Better Together stamp set. We're going to be using Just a Note sentiment and these 3 pens here. So you're going to need quite a few pieces to make this card. There's a lot of layering and panels, but I'll put all the measurements and everything on my blog, which is in the description bar below, so it'll be easy for you to find and kind of follow from there. But you're going to need half a piece of A4, and this has been cut vertically the same way you would if you're making a top folding card. If your measurements for your standard cardstock, ours is A4 size, I can't remember the exact measurements, but if yours varies, I know America is slightly different, do the same as you normally would. This card works with any size and shape. Cut it vertically halfway down the middle and you'll have 2 separate pieces for that. And you also need an A5 sheet. This again, it's basically a quarter of A4. I've taken the other side of the long sheet, cut it in half to get that panel, so that'll be half of that. You also need some DSP. So I've got a panel I've cut to fit on here and a smaller strip. Again, the measurements will be on my blog. You're going to need some basic grey cards. You're going to need a panel, a smaller rectangle and a long thin strip, and you'll need 2 of these because what I've done here is I've glued 2 together so it makes a thicker piece. You'll also need 2 panels of Whisper White and the small rectangle of Whisper White. You're going to need some ribbon, and I've got the Powder Pink ribbon here. And we'll be using basic grey ink and the Powder Pink Stampin' Write marker. Okay, so to start with, you're going to want to fold your long piece in half. I've not scored this. If you prefer to score it first. I just fold in half and use my bone folder. Then what you're going to do is you're going to open it, and this piece you're going to fold in to that fold line. And again, burnish that with your bone folder. And that will create your kind of tent shape there. Okay, flatten that out. So I'm going to bring in my 2 pieces of Whisper White and we're going to do our stamping. So basic grey, I've got my 3 pens here and I'm going to ink them up and stamp them onto my white panel. And you want to remember you're going to put some ribbon here, so you want it kind of nearer the top. Just down like that. And on this one we've got the sentiment, Just a Note. You may want to stamp this on a bigger piece and then cut it out, that is up to you. I should hopefully be able to get this alright. Yay, perfect. Okay, and that is all we need this ink for. I'm going to put this sentiment to one side And I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Right marker, and I'm just going to colour particular parts of it in pink. I will fast forward this for you and I'll get back to you in a second. Okay, and that is our colouring in done. I've not done anything special with the colouring in, I've literally just put the colour on. If you want to do shading, you can do, if you want to use your blends. But really simple. I love the pink and grey together, I think it's really, really cute. Okay, so now what we want to do is bring in our ribbon and our grey panel. Now, one of these is to go round here and the other is to tie the knot. So I find it easier to tie the knot before I stick it down. Then you just want to pull it over and pull the knot together. Okay. Like that. And then you're going to get your snips and cut at an angle. You only need tiny tails, you don't need massive ones. And then what we're going to do is pull that a bit tighter. Okay. So I'm going to bring in my snail, turn this over. And fold that round, and the same for this side. Fold it over, and then just tidy it up as you like. I am going to bring in a glue dot just to put under that bow to keep that in place there, because there's no adhesive on the front. Okay, so then we glue this panel just with Tombow onto our grey panel. Leaving a nice even border. Like so. And that's our image piece done. Let's put that to one side for now. Bringing in our other grey panel for our sentiment. Again, a nice even border. Like that. So now I'm going to bring in all my other elements, and the first thing we're going to do is this bottom segment here of our folded card. We're going to add adhesive to it. And then this panel will go directly on top. Okay, so place that on. Okay, fold it over and burnish that down, and that is your basic mechanism. So if I turn it that way, that's the card closed, and then as you open it, it will rest up like that. So super simple to do, and then you just decorate it how you want. So what I'm going to do is, I've got this lovely piece here in powder pink, and I'm going to glue that on the front. You've got a nice even border on there. Then I'm going to glue on this panel to the bottom here. My Tombow is running out, but I'm going to use it, every last drop of it. Okay. And then we're going to put this strip on. This is the double strip, so cut 2 strips exactly the same size and glue them on top of each other. This will give you somewhere for the card to tuck into. So this piece we're just butting right up against that floral piece there, like that. And because it's raised higher, because it's double, that's where the card will rest. And it also acts really nicely to break up that DSP, because it's the same DSP. It gives it a nice break up banner there. Okay, so that's how that will rest up. If you want to make it higher, just keep adding layers. I made a friend a birthday card recently with this same design. I think I put 3 layers. So put as many layers as you feel will be comfortable for it to rest. And I'm adding the last piece, which is the Whisper White. This is where you can write your message, and people can still have it on display, and it's going to be hidden, so the message will be hidden. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to bring in some dimensionals. Oh. Okay, and we're going to pop this panel up. This is our front panel. Oh, dropping dimensionals everywhere. Put as many or as few as you like. I like my panels to be quite sturdy, so don't be afraid to put quite a few on, but again, if you only want to put 1 in each corner and then 1 in the middle, that'll work fine. Okay, you want to place that quite central, so it's even border this side and a thicker even border there. Opening that out, and we've got our sentiment to go on, again with some dimensionals, because why not? Oops, 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 drop, drop, drop. Okay, and you want this nice and central also. And to finish off this card, I forgot to mention this at the start, you will need some rhinestones. The smallest rhinestone just on the bottom there. And that is our card. So a really nice simple note card on its own, or spice it up a little bit, turn it into an easel card. Let's see if you can see that better there. So this obviously breaks up the 2 DSPs. It also acts as your kind of anchor to stop it slipping. If you don't want to use something like this, you could always prop up a sentiment. If I move this sentiment up a bit, this could go there like that, and this sentiment panel will stop it slipping. But this is just the super simple basics for you. If you've never made one before, it's great to have a starting point. And I just really love this stamp set. I think it's so cute, especially if you've got a pen pal. This will be a perfect card. I love the pink. The powder pink and the grey just look lovely together. So that's our card for today. A nice fancy fold. That's the super simple version for you. I hope you like it, and I hope you do give it a try. So if you like this project, please do give me a thumbs up and subscribe. The link to my blog and Facebook page are in the description bar below. Hope you have a lovely day. Bye!